on. And now what I want to do is dive into the booster sale preview. As I mentioned earlier, this is mostly ready, but we might still change them a little bit. Let's walk through it, all right? So the first thing and the most important thing is boosters will only be available on mainnet RC1. This is non-negotiable. I do not want to do anything other than on our own blockchain, and I have taken the community's pulse on that, and everyone agrees. We will only do this on our own mainnet. So that tells you, like if you read between the lines, that tells you when is mainnet RC1 going to be available, because I already told you how much financial runway we have, and the boosters are only going to be available on that. So guess what? Very, very quickly. We'll get to that in a little more detail here shortly. So there's going to be two types of boosters. The first booster is designed to accelerate your token vesting. It's $1.50. And the other one is a super booster. And I'd hinted about this earlier. I've now merged the two programs into a coherent one. So the super booster has a token price that goes from $1.45 all the way down to $1. And the super booster is designed for people who want to acquire tokens at this stage with the new vision, the new team, the new protocol, everything new. If you like it, you want to have a piece of it, then super booster is for you. Now, this is the part I'm really excited about. A booster is not just a utility. Each booster will feature a random, amazing artwork by a global artist. So we are curating those artists. We are getting those artists together right now. We're getting the artworks in there, and the booster artworks will be AR enabled. So we want to make these boosters something that are unique and exciting and rare, and it's a one-time thing. And guess what? You can use them for accelerating your vesting, and then once that is done, you still own a rare Genesis art NFT. So the booster goes from being a utility thing where you boost your vesting, and then you don't just have an empty useless token in your wallet anymore. You have a work of art, and it's rare. And guess what? We will launch the Vitru Hub, and you'll be able to collect and trade them. You might even be able to trade them before you use up the boost feature, because once we list on an exchange, booster sales will stop, and so now they will be a desirable item. So the art is what I'm really excited about, and the artwork and the augmented reality piece is something I'm really excited about. I wanted to give you a teeny tiny taste of what is possible. It's just a little gimmicky thing, but I thought it would be fun in this download to show you. So let's look at this. So here, this is me wearing my Mandalorian helmet, and there's a QR code there. So if you will use your phone camera and scan that QR code, and then there'll be an app that launches. Just point that app at my picture there, and hopefully you should see something interesting. That's augmented reality right there. So this is a tiny, like I said, think of it as a 1% taste of what we can bring. So I'll leave this here for a minute while you do that, and I'm going to take a minute meanwhile to scan these comments and see what's going on. Wow, there's a lot of comments here.
All right, Nick, is that Boba Fett that comes up? Is that, or are we talking about the Mandalorian? It looks like Boba Fett to me.
Yeah, it's just something I whipped up very quickly. Just wanted to show you what's possible with augmented reality. Now, the leading company in the augmented reality space is one called Artivive. They charge artists a monthly fee based on the number of views. We will make augmented reality available out of the box for artists, right? Just like that, just as you saw it.
It's awesome. So I assume that I can keep this, right? This is my only one, and everybody else is going to get. They're going to have to give theirs up, right?
What do you mean? Like,
This is all just for me, right?
yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah. Okay. I was making sure though.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I wanted to just kind of take a little segue from all the business talk and give you guys a little hint of how our art NFTs and art digital collectibles and the augmented reality is going to work. So we really want the boosters to be something that people crave and has amazing artwork. So Fur and her artists are going to do amazing. I know that because I've seen the art packs art and it's just mind-blowing stuff. All right, let's continue now. Let's see, I need to get focus here. All right, so continuing with the booster sale there. All right, so let's review everything about it. The token price is $1.50. Each booster is 150. When you have a booster, you'll be able to claim 100 tokens, and you can use a maximum of 25 boosters and stack them to accelerate your vesting 2.5%. Each, I didn't include this in the slide, but each booster gives you 0.1% boost. So you add that up for 25, and that's 2.5%. Now, beyond 25, you can buy more if you want to. The boosters are good for the artwork and the token claim. So the first 25 you can stack on any of the accounts, and you'll be able to have 2.5% accelerated investing. Now that 2.5% is across the board. So what that means is the first month, your 0.25, it won't be 2.5 for everybody. It'll be whatever you buy. But this applies for not only the first 6 months, but also the remaining 12 months. So even your monthly vesting over the latter 12 months will be accelerated. All right. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can buy and hold these for future trading after the Vitru Hub is launched. And the vesting acceleration is good for 18 months. So if you don't use the booster to accelerate vesting, that means its utility is still available. And if you put it on listed on the hub, you can sell it. And whoever buys it can then use it to boost their account. But of course, cap of 25. All right. Now let's talk about the super boosters. So the super boosters honestly are targeting maybe what I would call angel investors or institutional investors. This is for folks who want to get in on this protocol now, who didn't get a chance to get in earlier. So the token price is $1.45 to $1, but it requires a lump sum investment of $25,000 to $250,000. If you happen to be an existing token holder, this is the only way to get the maximum sort of boost possible, but it's a fixed boost. It is non-stackable. So you can't buy 4 $25,000 super boosters and boost it, 16% or whatever. It's one boost. So the table outlines what you get there, but essentially there are some very attractive token prices. Now here's the thing: these are designed for investors with a longer view. This is not for someone who has a short view. So these tokens will be locked for 8 months. There's just no activity on them at all. And then after that, they will vest over a period of 15 months. So as I said, this is for people who have a longer view, and the vesting and the lock is essentially the price you pay, if you will, for the lower token price. Okay, so that's your super booster. And now let's look at the 10 preconditions for the booster sale. Like everyone says, when is the booster sale? When is the booster sale? Well, there are 10 things that need to be achieved in order for us to have it. And we are going crazy fast on these, all right? On the right-hand side, I put October and a spaceship. I don't care to give dates very often anymore. But here's the thing: we have a runway. We got to get it done. So this happens in the month of October. I don't know exactly what date. It could happen sooner or later. But let's look at the 10 things that need to happen. 1, a DAO formation opinion has to be published, has created and published to the community. The community has to vote on it and approve the DAO formation. And then we have to fast track the DAO incorporation. Why is that step number 3 necessary? Why can't we sell boosters without it? Well, we already sold things without an incorporated entity. It was quite a mess, if you might recollect, if your memory is long. We are never ever going to do any kind of token sales without an incorporated entity with proper liability. I certainly will never do that as long as I am the project lead. So there will not be any booster sales until there is an incorporated entity. Mainnet RC1 will be launched. Now the booster sale is the first thing that's going to happen on Mainnet RC1, but we won't wait for the booster sale to be ready to launch Mainnet RC1. We also have Poet, which is a proof of engagement token, which is for us to start onboarding creators and other people on there. So Mainnet RC1 is going to happen as fast as we can make it happen, which is like, as you saw, we're going to have testnet here. We'll greenlight the testnet. We'll run it through its paces next week or whatever, and then get going on Mainnet RC1. That's a DevOps thing more than anything else. The Mainnet RC1 launching is primarily a DevOps task. So as I mentioned, the booster DApp, the booster DApp is developed and then launched on mainnet, right? It's not going to happen before that. But I just want to be very, very clear. There isn't a need for them to happen contemporaneously. They don't have to happen together, right? We can launch mainnet RC1 with Poet, and then as we are working on getting the DAO incorporated and all that, then we'll add the booster sale to it. Number 6, booster artworks have to be ready and consigned. I just showed you what we're going to do with AR, etc. Well, guess what? That requires work. Artists have to put in time and effort to do that, and they will fast track it, but they have to do the work. We have to come up with a marketing campaign because we don't want to limit our booster sales only to the existing community. We want to reach out. We have a beautiful, grand, big vision to do something amazing in the world, and we want people to hear about it. And hopefully they will hear about it and like it, and they will want to participate. We will have a public website. So as you see right now, our public website is just a landing page with the bare minimum logo, etc. There's a website being developed. And this is what I was alluding to earlier. You can't just slap on a website with some pictures and all of that kind of stuff, with some features, etc. It's got to have messaging. It's got to resonate with the audience. It's got to have the right brand, identity and things like that. That takes time. That takes effort. And it's not. We're not creating a run-of-the-mill website here. We're creating something that is designed to target the creators of the world, and also to highlight the importance of this protocol when it comes to the world of technology, blockchain technology, and the world of creators. Number 9 and number 10, we have to have a white paper that is written and published. So the folks who are technical, who want to understand, not just technical, but also from a business-centric standpoint, what is our vision? How is this going to be built out? I did a presentation for you on the creator economy. You can expect to see the white paper be a very detailed version of that. And then last but not the least, we want to have an investor deck created and published. Investor decks are pretty straightforward and simple. They're usually 10 to 12 slides. They are a problem, a solution, a team, what's the market, what's the opportunity, what is the competitive landscape, what are the funding requirements, what is the go-to-market strategy, and what are the next steps, kind of, So we need to have that, because as I pointed out in the previous thing, we do want to start targeting angel investors and potentially institutional investors. Now, I hear time and time again another question: hey, why don't we get VCs here? So, look, venture capital is a very specific type of institutional investment. It has very specific needs and wants of the startups that they invest in. So each firm has a focus area. So some will focus on, say, medical instruments. Some will focus on blockchain protocols. Some might focus on dev tools, and so on and so forth. And they each have their specific stage of a company at which they invest, and they also have a certain size that they invest. So a seed stage VC might not be there at a Series A level, etc. So the key ingredients that almost every VC needs are a great vision, but more importantly, a very good team, a team that they can get behind and believe in. Because all VCs know that most startups go through a lot of change, and if you have a good team, they can weather those changes and they can take that ship to uncharted waters and discover new and exciting lands, to use that analogy further. But the team is important. Then the traction is important. So what professional investors want to see is, what have you achieved? Like, what have you done? Show some results. So traction is super important. And then also a good understanding of the competitive landscape. Like, where do you fit in and what is your potential to give them the ROI that they are seeking? So the ROI for VCs, they don't want 2x or 3x of their money. They want 20, 30x of their money in 5 years or so. So, and this varies from firm to firm, right? So don't quote me on that, but every firm has its own thesis on how it invests, etc. So we are early. If I pitch to 100 VCs right now, I might get one or two to say yes. It's just a huge waste of time. We have to first do the work, the hard work of actually getting this launched, getting some of the product strategy that I presented built out, and getting traction. When that happens, then we go for a Series A, and yes, we can get institutional capital. But otherwise, right now, this is still a domain for angel investors and small institutional investors.